What's good? Ahava Kills, formerly known Mercury X Jr. We finna get into more of this reaction video. Bill Gates was in the Epstein files, y'all. In the Epstein files, as well as Harvey Weinstein, Jay-Z, Pusha T. Alright? We finna get into this. This is crazy. This is wild. People who our parents probably looked up to, our grandparents, our cousins, our aunts, our uncles looked up to these people in the 90s and stuff like that. And now they're being accused of some pretty dark things, y'all, allegedly. Right? But as time goes on, the truth will be exposed. Let's get into this reaction video, man.
Reasons. Let's go here and read what was stated about Mr. Jeffrey Epstein. Let me make sure you all can see this. Okay.
Make sure y'all drink y'all water.
That helps. So it says here.
Take your vitamins.
Wow. In the Epstein emails, DOJ dropped. Okay, let me reread that. In the Epstein emails the DOJ dropped, Jeffrey Epstein sent himself emails memorializing a fight he had with Bill Gates. In it, he says that Bill Gates got STDs from Russian hookers and then asked Jeffrey for antibiotics that Bill could secretly give to Melinda without her noticing.
Come on now.
And I actually got a treat for you all. This is the email, but instead of me reading the email, I have an audio version of the email. Listen to this.
I cannot believe that you have chosen to disregard our friendship, developed over the last 6 years. I am aware that accidents happen. It is how each of us has chosen to deal with this unfortunate event that has me dismayed beyond comprehension. You have decided to discharge me from my job. You had Larry, your PR person, tell me that I engaged in morally inappropriate behavior. He asked me to be the major actor in a cover-up so that you can maintain the reputation that you have worked so hard to achieve. You asked me to recommit to a confidentiality agreement and have categorically told me that we cannot have any direct, ongoing business relationship. This is in total disregard for its impact on the public perception of my reputation. I will have to diligently avoid the truth. I will have to tell people that Bill will not invest with me and craft an answer that suits your needs. You did agree to send a letter of recommendation should a future employer ask for one. You have told me that Melinda insists on me not communicating with you unless Larry is copied or present, though you have consistently maintained that I could not have done a better job and that I was underpaid compared to my contribution. You then, beyond all sense of fairness and frankly decency, said that as generous compensation for keeping the Gates reputation intact, you would let me keep what we agreed I had already owned, the investment pieces, and give me 2 years severance, similar to Christine Turner, another casualty. If the shoe was on the other foot, I would have said, this is not your fault. I confessed to Melinda, it was in a moment of weakness, and I will do anything within my power to make it right for you. I have more money than anyone needs. I will bend over backwards to make sure your next career is rewarding and on an upswing. That is what I would have done had I been in your shoes. What I did receive, however, was an unfriendly, strongly worded email, and that I should not look to you for any significant financial help in the future. To add insult to the injury, you then implore me to please delete the emails regarding your STD, your request that I provide you antibiotics that you can surreptitiously give to Melinda, and the description of your penis. You also made it clear to me that I am not to refer to redacted, as that is another topic that must remain between the two of us. All of these requests, which I would have done without a second thought, until you were ready to discard me and our friendship.
When you met him 10 years ago, he was convicted of soliciting prostitution. It was reported that you continued to meet with him over several years. What did you do when you found out about his background?
What did you do?
Well, he's dead, so in general, you always have to be careful.
Allegedly.
That's what I was gonna say. He's dead. Well, now that he's dead to the public, allegedly.
He's allegedly deceased. This is what I want to say to this. That's disgusting. But let's think a little bit higher. If you all believe that some billionaires are, first and foremost, I don't believe that he was going this extra mile to try to hide something from his wife, such as the fact that he has an STD. I don't. Listen, this is the truth of the matter. NBA players who are making, they could be on a rookie contract, just making hundreds of thousands of dollars. This is very uncomfortable for people to hear, but it's the truth because this is just how it works. Not everybody's relationship, but a lot of their relationships. A lot of women that are dating NBA players understand that they're the pick of the litter.
This is why you should not get dental implants during the holidays.
Part of what comes with dating those type of men is going to be other women. You're going to have to be comfortable with that. You're going to have to understand that they're going to sleep around, but you're the person that they come home to. Either like it or don't, you can move on. I'll get somebody to replace you. I'm a millionaire. Right? You want me to believe, you expect me to believe that a billionaire is concerned about what another, no, he doesn't.
But what do you think it is?
I find that hard to believe. I believe these people are living completely different lives. Like when he sits there, a lot of this stuff is marketing. When he sits there with this little collar shirt and, you know, he looks so simple. He looks normal. They do those things on purpose so they can look relatable. Mm-hmm. Bill Gates, Jeffrey, these people are living completely different lives. Which reminds me, you all may get a kick out of this email. There's an email that was also sent to Jeffrey Epstein from someone named Masha Drakova in 2017. This is what the email said. I found criteria to find smart people. The more Jew you are, the smarter you are. You said you're 98% Jew. You're very smart. My ex-boss is 78% Jew. He is super smart. Less smart than you are. I have a close friend, business partner who is 99.3% Jew. He is crazily smart. We take all Jewish people. Sourcing can be done through relatives. Ask them to do a 23andMe test. Do event for everyone who is 98% Jew. Also, all of them are not religious. Do you think it makes sense, right?
Hold on, I got some ruckus. Anyways.
There are so many layers here. Define Jew for me. Because at one time, you all will say it's a religion, but it's also an ethnicity. But if you go to that foreign nation, from my understanding, they prohibit DNA tests. Many people in that country, their origin dates back to Europe. They have a European descent. What are you defining as Jew? But that goes into a whole different conversation. What are you defining as Semitic? It's just a whole different conversation. That's weird to me. Talking like this. This is, by definition, this is racist. You say, well, they said good things. No, you should be upset. If you consider yourself Jew, you should be upset with this email. You should feel away. Why? Because it's generalizing. Even if it's something that compliments you, you should be offended. If you're offended by everything else, how is this not anti-Semitic? How is this not anti-Semitic? All right, let's go over to the DOJ. Let's listen as we transition to Mr. Trump. Ooh. And the now deleted. They went and deleted the Epstein files and the portions that were quote unquote exposing Trump. Even though we already covered a video, what was it, a week and a half ago, of Mr. Sasha Riley, former Iraq war veteran, who alleges that Epstein, I believe, what is it, Supreme Court Judge Clarence Thomas, Jim Jordan, and what is it, Senator Lindsey Graham, along with Donald Trump, alleges that these people conspired in a ring that he was a victim of at 5 years old. This is a real person that has come out and said this. Directly accuses our president.
Whoa.
Let's listen to what the DOJ said and how they introduced this. I found this to be extremely interesting.
Pushing politics aside and everyone else aside, some of the victims of Epstein have expressed frustration with the entire process. I want to give you the opportunity to speak directly to them.
Well, I don't know what you're speaking to. I mean, if there's frustration with, quote, the entire process, same here. I mean, you have a situation where, for many, many years, nobody even breathed a word about Jeffrey Epstein. And then all of a sudden it was all anybody would talk about, going into the,
This is so weird. First off, who cares? Right? Like who?
Why the fuck would it matter when we bring up this damn pedophile? Like, what?
Cares? If there is a leak in your house, there's an odor in your house, the trash needs to be taken out. But you get there and it stinks. Are you going to just complain and say, for 2 days while I was gone, no one took the trash out? Arr. Or are you going to still do something about it? It still needs to be taken out, bro. Just take care of it. You would only complain about it if removing that trash would expose you in some way.
No empathy. That guy has no empathy.
If fixing that leak would expose you in some way. Why do you care? Who cares? With that aside, it's also not true what you just said. There are many people that were speaking about this. Jeffrey Epstein was spoken about, especially after the Netflix documentary that came out on him. Why do you care? What you're talking about is there wasn't as much pressure on the Kamala Harris, Joe Biden administration. Who cares? It's a problem that needs to be dealt with.
Sounds like a war between the Republicans and the Democrats. Is this guy a Republican or a Democrat? I don't know. It was just, it's weird that, like, if he would say something about Kamala, and you know, the Democrats was trying to pull something out about Trump to get him impeached. So, this is bloody.
And the truth is, whether you like it, whether you feel like it's fair or not, Trump was a lot more affiliated and closer and has a much longer history with Epstein, or at least a public history with Jeffrey Epstein than Joe Biden did. So it's kind of hard from an optics perspective to overlook this. Who cares, dude? And I have to say, this guy looks extremely nervous. He sounds extremely nervous.
last spring and summer, culminating in the passage of the Transparency Act. And President Trump has said for years what I think everybody will find to be exactly true, which is detailing his relationship and lack thereof with Mr. Epstein, and what he thought about Mr. Epstein, and notwithstanding what the department has been saying for a very long time, we're still where we are today. Listen, victims of Mr. Epstein have gone through unspeakable pain, and there's nobody that should say anything differently. And I to the extent that there's frustration, I understand where that comes from, just from what we know about Mr. Epstein. I hope that the work that the men and women within this department have done over the past 2 months, hopefully is able to bring closure. I think that what we told our reviewers is that was the goal. You know, there's this mantra out there that, the Department of Justice is supposed to protect Donald J. Trump, and that's what we were telling. That's not true. That was never the case. We are always concerned about the victims. When we said that.
Well, if that's true, how come you all deleted the files that implicated Trump? The files we're about to read here in a moment. If there's nothing to hide, all of this is a show, though. I understand that. I don't even need you all to tell me. I know. I already get it. All of this is theatrics, because you know not to release anything that implicates our president, whether you like Trump or not, because it's just bad for the country. That's just the truth of it. You won't allow anything like that to happen unless it's supposed to. You know, the moment you release it, you can delete it later, but once it hits the internet, it's over. It's forever. These people already understand that. In war, and this is a spiritual war, it's always important not to underestimate your enemy. There's nothing wrong with giving them credit because you recognize how great they are, how strategic they are. And the truth is, these people are extremely strategic. They're very advanced in their strategies. They're playing games on us, man. I mean, it's just the truth.
Gaslighting. Yeah, narcissist.
We were not legally allowed to release documents. That's a fact. That was true. It remains true today. And then with the Act's passage, we are able now and directed to release documents, which is what we are doing. But so hopefully some of those frustrations are now eased. Listen, any victim that wants to speak with the department has done so. Hopefully, if not, they should. The prosecutors from this case in New York have given hundreds, if not thousands, of hours to
imagine y'all gotta like come out of the facade. Like imagine he's sitting right in front of you, right, trying to convince you of something. Would you believe him? I wouldn't. I don't know about y'all.
And that's what we do every day, and that's what we did in this case as well. So
Very quickly, can you assure the American public that President Trump, like every other prominent person whose name came up in relation to the Epstein files, that all documents, photos, and anything relevant to him connected to the case are being released?
I mean, yes, I can assure that we complied with the statute, we complied with the act, and there is no, we did not protect President Trump, we didn't protect or not protect anybody. I mean, I think that there's a hunger or a thirst for information that I do not think will be satisfied by the review of these documents.
That's a very interesting thing to say, bro. People just want the truth. People just want the truth. We want to know how Epstein, who seemingly had no skill, became this incredibly rich individual, right? Tucker Carlson went on a rant at Charlie Kirk's event back in July, and it's just spot on. It rings true to this day. How can a person like that just run free and be allowed to be in a position to have blackmail on people? You know, it's a legitimate question. So
it seems like he keeps insinuating or saying without being super direct, like, why do you guys want to know? Why does it matter so much? The victims are going to be taken care of. What is the information going to do for people personally? But it's like, who gives you the right to say that? If the victims want the information out, they should be able to, that's justice, right? The justice system is bullshit, y'all.
Go over and read. Once again, please hit the like button as you come in. I would really, really appreciate it. It helps a lot. Really, really helps a lot. If we can get up about 1,500 likes, that would be great. Let's go over and read the files that they actually redacted. And let me make sure I didn't miss anything here before we jump over here. Okay.
I wonder what as more information comes out about our president, man, I wonder what the people that have been still standing up for him are going to say. Because when it came to Renee Good, they had a lot to say. Because that ICE officer did not hit that guy. Let's be honest, y'all. So for him to pull his gun out and shoot her, a woman, like, were you that, like, injured, sir? These niggas got no heart. These niggas in that ice mask got no heart. And I'm talking about that one specific incident. He didn't have to kill that woman. Even if y'all, man, some people call me whatever, I don't care. Even if she did graze you, why would you shoot her? Just let her dip off. You're not hurt, bro. You're here to get illegal immigrants, like you say, right? No, these motherfuckers, they want all-out war on everybody. Americans, everybody. And that lady should have not died for that. She shouldn't have died for that.
let's see what they redacted on Mr. Trump. Okay. So it says here, underage girl claims Trump forced OS. That's what we're going to call it, OS. This was released yesterday morning. Very interesting. Bombshell allegation in the latest Epstein
Let
files.
me repeat that. Allegedly, Donald Trump forced a minor girl to have oral sex with him? That's crazy.
Release. An
Our
underage
president,
girl
y'all.
claims she was forced to perform OS on Donald Trump approximately 35 years ago in New Jersey. Now, objectively speaking, I will say it's just very odd when something comes forward 35 years ago. Like, I'm always curious how they can prove these things.
Right.
But I'm also interested in curious just the timing of it all, you know?
Right. This is allegedly. That was allegedly. It's just that sentence being on TMZ kind of just, I had to repeat it so people could really hear what I just heard. Our president was accused of forcing an underage girl of to do oral sex, but 35 years ago it's kind of crazy.
I do think about that, objectively speaking. So this is one of the redactions, something that was deleted, but someone, I guess, screenshotted this. Let me go make sure you all can clearly see that. Let's do it this way. Perfect. So it says, blank reported an unidentified female friend who was forced to perform OS on President Trump approximately 35 years ago and in J. These ads are crazy. The friend told Alexis that she was approximately 13 to 14 years old when this occurred, and the friend allegedly bit President Trump while performing OS. The friend was allegedly hit in the face after she laughed about biting President Trump. The friend says she was also abused by Epstein.
The one way we'll probably be able to prove if Trump got his dick bit by a minor is we got to see his dick. And I'm not trying to be funny at all. I'm being serious. If this is a real investigation, then he should probably go under the lie detector test and in front of a doctor to see, is there a scar from getting bit on his penis? You know what I'm saying? Like,
spoke with caller who identified blank was friend. Lead was sent to Washington office to conduct an interview. The allegation is from a document in the files that describes a tip was sent to the feds. The complaint summary says the feds were told the underage girl was approximately 13 to 14 years old when the alleged incident occurred, and it says the alleged victim allegedly bit Trump. Okay, so we already read this.
is this a joke, y'all?
Another allegation which the feds deem not credible is from a female who claims she was a victim and witness to a ring at the Trump golf course in Rancho Palos, California between 1995 and 1996 involving big orgy parties with young girls, older Victoria's Secret models, and celebs like Trump, Bill Clinton, and Robin Leach. And we all know that Lex, what is his name? The guy who was affiliated with, the guy who basically made Epstein. Is it Lex Wegler? Chad's gonna know. Talk to me, Chad. Is it Lex Wegler who owned Victoria's Secret? Wexner, thank you. Lex Wexner. I already found it weird. That's a whole different conversation. It's very similar to the very similar to the modeling conversation. On Patreon, we reacted to a documentary a few months ago of models from the early 2000s, late 90s, that expose what the modeling industry is actually about, and nobody should be shocked about it. I always said that if, the Most High blesses me to have a little girl, there are several things that I'm skeptical of my little girl involving in. Even gymnastics, I'm skeptical about the way she would participate. The clothing, just certain things we've normalized, it's weird. And nobody sees it as anything wrong. Booty shorts and
like the little girl, Miss Shirley. You know what I'm saying? Or even cheerleading. Cheerleading's a little weird to me personally.
Weird spandex. Like there's other attire that you can wear that's comfortable and more appropriate, where certain body parts aren't hanging out your shorts and no, out your clothes. No, certain things have been normalized on purpose, and the people that helped normalize it, that was behind the marketing to help normalizing it, are loving it. The modeling in
All right, y'all, man. If y'all want to check out the full video, go finish the video. Shout out DD, got a podcast. Once again, formerly known Mercury Shuni, currently known as Hava Kills. I got music on all platforms under both names. If you went through the whole video with me, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what y'all think about. Think about this in the comments. Our country is crazy. The truth is stranger than fiction. And it's getting wild and wild every single year. Get the information right. Find God. As hard as this life is, bro, it's a war. It's a spiritual war. You know what I'm saying? And the things you go through in the background, I'm not going to see. And the things I go through in the background, you're not going to see.